It sounds gross and dangerous. Plastic chemicals lurking in the foods we eat. But the reality is those chemicals are there, and we've known about it for decades.
Yeah, recent testing by our partners at Consumer Reports reveals some of the foods with higher levels of these chemicals and how to avoid them. Here's consumer investigator Steve Steger.
Take a trip through the grocery store or stop at a fast food restaurant. From packaged produce to meat, canned foods to fast foods. You name it, it probably contains some form of a chemical used to make plastic.
We tested a wide variety of packaged foods, 85 to be exact.
Lauren Friedman is a science journalist with our partners at Consumer Reports.
We were looking primarily for chemicals called phthalates, as well as bisphenols such as BPA, and we found them at levels that our scientists say are not okay.
Even at low levels, studies suggest these chemicals can contribute to an increased risk of diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, and certain cancers. But eliminating these chemicals from our diet is hard, if not impossible.
The problem is it's not just about avoiding food that is wrapped in plastic. There are so many ways these chemicals can get into our food.
It leaches from the conveyor belts and the food handling gloves during food processing, even from contaminated water and soil. So what can you do to try to minimize chemical exposure? First, try to avoid plastic food storage containers. If you do use them, don't microwave them.
Heat can increase chemical leaching into your food, so it's a good idea to avoid storing hot food in plastic containers.
Stay away from fast foods, which were found to have some of the highest levels of these chemicals in Consumer Reports tests. Try to eat fresh, minimally processed foods like unpackaged fruits and vegetables. Stick with wood, stainless steel, and silicone kitchen tools. And swap out plastic water bottles for bottles made out of glass or steel.
Consumer Reports also recommends limiting high-fat foods in your diet, as research has found higher levels of plastic chemicals in foods with higher fat content. But when you look at the numbers that Consumer Reports found in fast food in particular, about 3 times as many of these plastics in fast foods, and things that you wouldn't expect to have a lot of plastics in. So like the fries that come in what looks like a paper container. There's a little bit of plastic coating on that, and they found like a ton of these chemicals.
This is bumming a lot of people out this morning. Like we were talking about it, like, no, we love our McDonald's. Yeah, exactly.
Not my Wendy's fries.
So what should you do? Because we were even talking about the fact that we need to adjust some of our own habits.
You're never going to cut them out completely, but I'm thinking now I have a lot of plastic containers. I heat up a lot of plastic containers. Maybe go into more of those glass things, the Tupperware.
Yeah.
Keep the plastic lid off, just use the glass containers. It's hard though.
It's really hard.
It's in everything.
Yeah.
The best you can do is try to limit it.
Yeah, as much as you can. You're never going to get it all out.
Steve, thank you.
Yep.